Hey guys, this is Ryan with My Listing Club. In this video, I'm going to cover a guide that I just put out today titled How to Automatically Apply Meta to Your My Listing website with SEOPress. So in this video, I'm going to be walking through that guide just to give those with more of a visual learning style the ability to follow along visually. Okay, so let's go ahead and click into this guide. And I won't cover all of the text in there. You can go ahead and read that yourself. But I'm going to pull this up on my other screen and just kind of walk through it as part of this video. Okay, so I'm going to drag that over here to my other screen. So out of the box with my listing, you're going to get some meta assigned, but it's not going to be all the meta that you need. So you need to do a little bit more. And as soon as you install a plugin like SEOPress, you're going to get better meta right off the bat. But even once you do that, you still got a little bit of work to do. It's not a fault of my listing. It's just the theme can account for every type of website that's going to be built with the theme. So it's up to you, us, to go in and make the necessary meta changes that we need to make. Okay, and SEOPress makes that super simple, which I'll show you here. So out of the box, I've got SEOPress installed, and I've done nothing more with the titles and metas. Okay, so here we have a listing. Let's go ahead and refresh this. Now, if we right-click in the browser and view the source code, we see up here at the top that it's the title. Here's the title of this listing with a space and then a separator and then a space and then the site name. You get that out of the box as soon as you install SEOPress. So that's not a bad title at all. Okay. So let me show you what happens as soon as you. Let me make a new tab real quick. Let me show you what happens as soon as you disable SEOPress. We'll go ahead and refresh this tab. So what we find right away in the title is that it's got this HTML character in here, which isn't a valid SEO-friendly separator. So you want to get that out of there first and foremost. The other thing you'll notice is if you look at this, there's no meta description. Okay, so that's bad. And as I point out in the guide, every listing, everything on your website that's a post type should have a unique meta description. Okay, that also has SEO, your keywords in there, whether it's the region, category, listing type, whatever, but it needs to be unique for every post type you have. So obviously that means your listings too, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll keep this tab open. I'm gonna turn SEOPress back on. And I'm gonna refresh this page. So right away we see that we have the valid separator in there. Okay, so the next thing we want to tackle, like I mentioned, is the meta description. Here we see it. Depending on where you are in your SEOPress installation, your journey, you're going to get one of two things. Right, like straight out of the box, you're going to get no meta description. I've tinkered with this site a bit, so it kind of injected this lorem ipsum text. But so you're either going to get blank, which is bad, or you're going to get this lorem ipsum, which is just as bad. Okay, if not worse. I'm not sure which would be worse. So that's what we're going to set out to fix here. Okay, so super simple. I'm going to actually drag this guide back over here. You're going to come down here. Oh, I quickly wanted to point out in the guide. So I mentioned here, this is something that should be a part of your checklist with any time you build a My Listing site. And I'm starting to add this banner across these guides where it makes sense. It's basically saying to look at the My Listing project template that I've created. This is just one of the hundreds of cards that I've added as a task to this template so people can follow along. So highly recommend checking that out. Click the Learn More link and it's going to tell you what it's all about and even walk through the template with you. But definitely this should be a part of your checklist. Okay, so moving on down, all you got to do to start is just copy this code that I've put in there. It's not even code. It's just, it's a mixture of text and variables. So just grab that, jump back over into your site. I'm going to refresh this page. So you're going to go to SEO, title and metas, post types, scroll down to listings. And this is what's pulling in that lorem ipsum text. Okay, so we just want to knock that out of there and paste in what I include in the guide. Okay, and we'll save changes. Let's refresh this page. I'll create another tab so we can look back, refresh this. So now we've jumped from all of this lorem ipsum or blank, like I said, depending on where you're at, to a nice Donna Lynn provides, I'll just highlight this here. Donna Lynn provides wedding efficient services in the Aspen area. Check out their listing on the efficient directory. So let's break down what that is. I'm going to pull my guide back over here. So breaking this down, we've got the post title variable, and then that's pulling in the listing title. So that's where Donna Lynn provides wedding. We stop there. Then the next variable comes in is this one, which is pulling in the listing type. Okay, and then adds services in the. So that gets us Donna Lynn provides wedding efficient, which is the listing type, wedding efficient, and then adds services in the, and then break, and then this variable pulls in the region, so in the Aspen area. And then the final one is adding some text before it, but it's check out their listing on, and then we're going to add their site name. So that's the breakdown of the variables, okay? So let's go back here and look again. Donna Lynn provides wedding efficient services in the Aspen area. Check out their listings on the efficient directory. So name of the listing, Donna Lynn. Efficient is the listing type. Aspen is the region. And the efficient directory is the name of the website. Okay. Now that you have this in place and you see how it works, you can customize this to be however you want it to be. And the key here, I'm going to pull my guide back over here. The key here is the variables. So the way that it works with SEOPress is it's got this underscore percentage underscore, and then the variable is how SEOPress breaks it down. I highly recommend SEOPress over, say, Yoast or Rank Math, because it's far less bloated, and it's if you run in the SEO circles like I do, anytime someone runs a poll about which is best, it always comes back as SEOPress. Highly recommend it. But if you're used to seeing Yoast, for example, like they have different syntax for how it's done, and you can get that. I think there's in the MyListing help desk, I think somebody broke down all the variables that there are for Yoast, and you can just apply those here. You just got to have the right syntax. Okay, and then on the SEOPress website, you type in SEOPress meta variables. If you just type that in, pull this over, you'll get a nice list that isn't necessarily related to MyListing, but it's all these things that these variables that you can add in. And then this is the key here, the custom field names, the custom taxonomies. This is what you would use to call up some of the MyListing fields, depending on what you're using and how you want it to be built. Okay. Just going to give you a bunch of clues here how this is done. So you got that on their website. This is a little more advanced, but if you want to create your own dynamic stuff, you can they've got a guide on doing that. It's just another way of doing it. So check that out. If you actually go to your MyListing site and you go into settings and then permalinks, they're also going to give you some hints here as well. Scroll down to listing base, and then you can see some of the tags here, some of the variables. click that learn more, and you can see some of the variables in here. So that's another hint. So listing type, listing underscore type. If we go back to our titles and meta, you'll see it doesn't exactly match up. So and it's that part can be a little confusing. Another trick is if you happen to be using Permalink Manager Pro, there's a discount on the club website for that as well. If you go to Tools, Permalink Manager, open that up, and go to Permastructures, you're going to get some variables in there as well. So something to think about there. But of course, you've got the MyListing support, the help desk. If there's a variable you need that you can't find somewhere, just jump in there and tell them what you need, and they're going to get it for you. Okay. But you feel free to have a tinker and see what you come up with. But again, you want unique meta descriptions for all of your listings, and make sure that they are SEO friendly, injecting those dynamic variables in there. All right. Hope this was helpful. Talk to you soon. Bye.